Did you get a code red text this morning about fans being allowed back into Devaney?
We did not. I kind of wish we would have though, because that's huge news. It's really exciting, and I know everyone is super pumped about it. Because honestly, Devaney doesn't even feel like Devaney anymore without the fans there. So we're so excited.
Were you hearing any rumblings? I know they've been talking about allowing it baseball and softball the last week or so. Were you hearing talk that Devaney may be included in allowing fans back?
Yeah, we were hearing some talk about it, but everything changes day to day. So we didn't want to be fully committed. Oh yeah, we're getting our fans back, and then they'd be like, oh no, never mind. So we heard rumblings about it. So we were just waiting for that official. You guys are getting your fans back, and we heard today. I saw it all over Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, and I'm just so excited. And I know everyone on our team is too.
What was the group text like this morning when the news became official?
Just they're back. We have our fans back. We know it's not going to be the full Devaney, and we're excited for the time when it will be everyone back in Devaney. But just to even get some fans back, it's going to be amazing because it's pretty quiet in there, and we really feed off the energy of Devaney. And I know it puts a lot of pressure on other teams too. So to have them there, especially since we're playing Penn State, that's so exciting. And I know the Penn State game is always super exciting, and the fans always get really into it. And so to have at least some of them there, it's going to be great.
Not having fans this year, are there specific things like where you would miss looking at something or miss hearing something, or moments in match where you would miss feeling something that you normally would?
Yeah, I would say when we run out for hitting warm-ups, it is just insane in there, crazy, super loud. And then I also think just moments after long rallies, after big blocks, just the feeling from Devaney is it's just so energized, and everyone is so into the game. And now those plays happen, and it's just kind of our team's cheering, and it's dead quiet. So I'm excited just to have at least a little bit more energy back. And we've kind of struggled this year with starting with a lot of energy, and we kind of go down in the beginning of games. And so I think having those fans, it might give us a little energy boost, get us going a little bit earlier.
Because it's so quiet in the gym, do you have to do things? Are there things differently? Because you can hear the other team talking, whether it's mixing up your signals or I don't know, do you have multiple different play calls because it's so quiet?
Yeah, it has to definitely be a lot more secretive when you're giving the play calls, because usually all the fans are yelling and everything. And so I usually sometimes just tell the hitters what to hit because the other team can't hear it. But this year it's a lot more focused on signals because the other team can hear basically everything you're saying.
To switch topics, I mean, John talked a little bit about how the team has improved on serving. Do you feel like you've taken a step forward at the serving? Have you noticed your teammates and just overall the team is where it wants to be as far as the serving game?
Yeah, the serving game has been a battle for us this year. And I think a lot of people individually as well, especially me, I've struggled really trusting my serve in certain moments. And I think that's been a huge emphasis for us these past couple of weeks, is really trusting our serves and going back and thumping it. And when we get teams out of system, we're really hard to stop. And that's when we win games, is when we serve and pass really well. And I've seen everyone's really pick up their serving. And I think that's going to help us a lot this weekend, next weekend, and then going into the tournament.
When you're serving personally, do you love that opportunity? Do you kind of have a love-hate opportunity with it because you could make an error, or do you have a different feeling when you're serving?
Yeah, I would say it's a love-hate kind of, because you want to have a great serve. At the same time, you don't want to make an error. And I think we're trying to get to the love part of it, where, you're just going to go back there, you're going to trust it. And coach has been saying this thing called mono e mono. So it's you versus the passer. And so I think we're trying to switch that mindset of let's go back, let's trust it, let's snap it. And if we miss it, that's okay. And I think right now, especially for me, maybe for some other people, the missing part is kind of overriding I'm going to go after it.
You spoke about yourself and your improvement as a server. Can you talk a little bit about Kenzie's specifically? I know she's been mentioned a couple of times, but can you share anything just as far as her improvement so far this season?
Yeah, she's a stud. She always gives 100%. Sorry, my dog. She always gives 100%, and she's a hard worker. And with her serving, it's really hard to stop because she serves like a short ball and then a deep ball and then in between people. So when you're preparing for her serve, you have to prepare for a bunch of different styles of serve, which makes it really hard for the other passers to pass. But I thought she's done a great job. She's really fiery and I love playing next to her. And I think everyone on the team has improved so much and she has as well. So.
Coach talked earlier this week about you setting Jazz probably the best you have this season. And I mean, it was definitely noticeable in the past game. Do you feel that better connection? And then what's it like to see Jazz kind of have a game like she did and be all smiles and really into the game?
Yeah, it felt really good to have that great connection with her. We've been really working on it. And just to see her out there enjoying it, having fun, it's fun to watch for me. And like her, like getting bounce kills, like just makes me super excited for her because she's worked really hard and we've been working really hard on the connection and the type of ball that she wants. And so to see her out there, like just bouncing balls and having the performance she did it was amazing.
Was there something that finally clicked with Jazz last week that finally, she kind of elevated her game to another level in both those matches? Was there something between you and her that clicked to allow that?
Yeah, we sped up her ball a little bit. And so I think that's helped her tremendously, especially giving her holes in the block and able to really move the ball around. And so I think that speeding that ball up for her has helped our connection a lot.
Final questions for Nicklin?
You've been co-captains with Lauren the last 2 years. I mean, and we heard about her after the Ohio State match where she kind of talked in the locker room. What do you admire her as a co-captain from what she brings to the team as a leader on it?
Yeah, she's so fiery, and I'm honestly so honored that I get to serve as a co-captain next to her because it's amazing. She just talks to the group and everyone is so engaged and her words mean so much to us. It's just, we have so much respect for her. And when she talks, everybody listens and we're like, okay, this is the game plan. And so it's been amazing to see her grow as a captain and get to this point because I've been with her through the whole journey. And, I trust her with everything and she's an amazing captain and I will take pieces from what she's done for the rest of my life.
What's it like seeing her back there serving these past couple games?
It makes me excited. She has a really good serve. She thumps it, she goes after it, and I think it's kind of funny. Her first serve back on Iowa, she foot faulted, but she's been doing great in practice and in the game she was doing great. I think she had a couple aces and I'm excited to see her back there serving. And then she also can play defense. I think she had like 3 or 4 digs, a little save. So, it just brings a lot of energy. Just anytime she's in the game, we're fired up, we're excited. She brings so much energy to the team. So just even have her in for that little extra rotation, it's really cool.
Nicklin, I have one real quick here at the end. I got to know about this Michael Jackson playlist that John Cook was talking about. He said that the challenge for you was to be more creative, and somehow he pulled Michael Jackson into the fray. And, how did that all evolve? And what are the top songs that you guys are jamming out to in practices?
Yeah, so we listen to Michael Jackson in setter training every Tuesday, Wednesday, and then right before the game when we come out to do setter training. And so it kind of all started with we have a bunch of setter sayings and everything, but Michael Jackson, he was an artist. He was super creative. And we watched the documentary about it was going to be his last tour before he passed away. And he just creates. And so we kind of hey, we want to be like Michael Jackson. And then one of the main songs we listen to is Man in the Mirror. And we say okay, you're looking at yourself from the other side's point of view to see what they would be seeing you doing. So being deceptive. And it's just a point, we want to be artists with setting. And so we relate back to Michael Jackson in that way. And I don't think I've ever listened to as much Michael Jackson in my life. And I'm pretty sure I know every single song now. So, but it's good. I like referring back to him because he was amazing. He was one of the greatest. So.
Do you have a favorite Michael Jackson song now that you've listened to all of them on loop?
I would have to say Smooth Criminal.